Hey guys, how are ya? Hope you're having a great week. So this week we're back and we're focusing on sales. We're focusing on so many different aspects of something that's so important to our business. So we're going to talk about strategies and techniques to master sales to get people to buy and purchase more things. We're going to talk about some of the myths or misconceptions that people have about being a salesperson. Some of the issues that they have personally with being that salesperson. And we're going to talk about so many other things that will help your business grow. It's absolutely a must to understand sales, how it works, and the ins and outs of the industry, because at the end of the day, we are in the sales industry. We provide a product, we sell that product. When someone purchases it, we get paid a commission. That is how sales works, and that's very much what we do. So we're going to really talk about how to master that and how to become the best salesperson that you can become. So, first and foremost, do you consider yourself a salesperson? Take a minute to think about this, because I have talked to hundreds and hundreds of people, and I have heard mixed answers about this. Do you consider yourself a salesperson? Or do you simply consider yourself someone who shares the product? We've talked about this before in videos, and so many of you will know my opinion, but what do you consider yourself? Do you see yourself as a salesperson, someone who sells a product, someone who promotes a brand, someone who earns a commission for what they do? Or do you see yourself as someone who shares a product because you care and because you want to help and because you want to teach? Where do you lie? Okay, think about this. I'm not going to give you an answer at this point, but think about it, because as we go throughout the rest of today's video, I want you to really think about the difference, and at the end, commit and move forward. So do you consider yourself a salesperson or simply someone who shares a product? Okay, so let's talk a bit about qualities of a typical salesperson. So these are what oftentimes people think when they think of the sales industry or a salesperson, right? And I'm sure many of you can relate and have heard or thought this at some point. How many times have you thought, oh, salespeople are dishonest? They don't tell the truth. They only lie to get the sale. They don't necessarily tell me what it is that I really need, but whatever they think I need or want to hear. So they're dishonest, right? The typical salesperson is thought to be dishonest. Also, and I would probably say this is even bigger than the dishonest one, I hear all the time, salespeople are pushy. I don't want to be that typical pushy salesperson. I don't want to be that pushy person that pushes people away. How many of you have said that? Have you thought about that before when you're working with a salesperson? Think about that car salesman. You go on that car lot before you even get out of your car. They're at your door ready. How can I help you? Well, then they're pushing the whole time. Test drive this one. Test drive this one. What do you think about this one? Let's do this. Fill out this application. It's this constant pushiness, right? Also, qualities of a typical salesperson is that they don't listen. A salesperson doesn't listen. So what do I mean by that? They don't listen to what you're saying. They're not listening to what it is that you really need or what it is that you really want. They're just talking. They're talking as what they want, what they think you need or want, or what they want you to have. Okay? A typical salesperson is also focused on the commission. They think about what are they going to make out of this? How much are they going to make if they get this vehicle or if they get this one, right? That is something that they do. They don't think about what's going to necessarily help the person buying, but what is in it for them and how they're going to profit from it. Okay? And oftentimes they have this hidden agenda, that they have this, underlying fact of I need to make money and this is what it is and this is why you need to buy this. But that's not shared. How many of you have thought about this at least once in your lifetime about a salesperson? How many of you don't want to be a salesperson because you think this is what other people think? How many times have you told yourself that you don't want to be a pushy salesperson? I've heard it a ton. So these are typical standard qualities that most people think of when they think of salespeople. This is what, sadly, the industry has come to. Because of people who have abused it, this is now what people think. And this is why so many of us don't want to associate ourselves with salespeople or as a salesperson or as a professional in the sales industry, because of these standards and qualities that have been set by those who have been in the industry. Okay, so now that we've talked about that, let's talk a bit now about what not to be. Okay, so we know what a typical salesperson is from what we've talked about. We know why we don't want to be that. But my goal of this video is to get you to understand that being a salesperson is not a bad thing. You are a salesperson, and you do not have to have those qualities and attributes and that awful misconceptions that people have from the previous slide if you want to be an honest, genuinely good salesperson. Okay, so first and foremost, what not to be, guys. So don't assume anything. Don't assume they need something. Don't assume they want something. Don't assume that they have to have something. Don't assume. Be real with the person you're working with. Okay? Don't secretly set up classes as a get together in the industry. I have seen this happen so many times. People will talk to their friends and family and they're not interested. They'll talk to them again, they're not interested. They'll then set up a class, but they'll tell them, oh, just come over for dinner, and then they have a presentation for them. This is not the way to grow a business. This is not what you want to be doing in the industry. This is part of the reason that the industry and the sales industry has such a bad name, because people use this like cloak and dagger approach, right? Where it's very hidden, secret, and it just doesn't work. And then they're at your house. Well, guess what? They're stuck. Well, they're not going to sign up. They're going to be angry that you lied to them and that you tricked them into doing this. Okay? And then don't be overly pushy. It's okay to talk to someone. It's okay to follow up. It's okay to talk and remind and invite. And that's our job. But you don't have to be overly pushy. It doesn't mean you have to call them every day, every minute, asking the same questions, right? So take a breather. Don't be overly pushy. So these are a couple things to remember as you're doing that. So, like I said, it's time for a change, okay? My goal when I work with people is to let's become the type of salespeople that change the world for good. Not these that are pushing products that people don't need, telling people things that they don't need to have, and have these secret agendas, but yet let's change the mindset that people have about the industry. It can be done. Okay, so what to be? What should you be as a salesperson? Okay, first and foremost, a genuine person who cares. Okay, you need to be genuine. You need to be able to legitimately care about the person. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to know every person you talk to and you have to know everything about them, but it does mean that you care enough to put their best interest and their best needs above that of your own gain. So if you can be genuine enough to connect with them, learn about what they need, and to help them, that's all that matters, okay? You also need to be someone who listens to what they have to say. Ask them questions to get them talking if they're not, but be there to listen. Now, like we talked about before, not just hearing what they're saying, but really listening to them, taking it in, and knowing what they're saying, so that way, when the time is correct, you can provide a solution. How many times have you wanted to go in to look at a certain car or for a certain item, and the person has recommended 500 other things? It gets to be quite frustrating. If you listen, you can avoid that frustration. So listen. And remember to be someone who provides quality. So, do we get paid a commission? Absolutely. Do we get to help people? Absolutely. But we are providing them with a quality product that can change their lives, a quality product that can help them, okay? That is what it's about. You want to be someone who genuinely cares and can put their needs and interest above your own, someone who listens and really gets what it is they're saying, and then someone who takes what they have said and provides quality for them. That is what it's about. That's what a good salesperson does. If every salesperson did this, they would be extremely successful. They would make great money. People's opinion of a salesperson would change. People want what they want. They want to buy things, but they want to do it with someone who's honest, someone who's going to genuinely help them see what they need and to be a success. That is what it's about. Focus on these three things as you're working on becoming a better salesperson. Okay, I want you to all commit to becoming part of this change. It's time that we change the way that the industry sees salespeople. We legitimately can provide value for people. We can help them change their lives and see a huge difference. That's what it's about. Take the time to really commit to being a salesperson. As a salesperson, you can still share a product. You still can talk to people. But don't tell people that, because when you do, it almost looks like you're being a little bit weird about it. You're hiding something, because at the end of the day, you are a salesperson. So be upfront with that. But commit to being the type of salesperson that we need in the industry. Someone who genuinely cares and listens and adds quality products and value to these people's lives. That's what it's about, guys. Have a great day.